My dad is Theodore Sperduto, retired Presbyterian minister. He volunteered for World War II at the age of 16 and went into the war in both North Africa and then the European theater as the invasions got closer and closer to Germany. As you might imagine, the war experience affected his spirituality, and I think there was a time where he was agnostic, at least, if not atheist. Then he came out of the war alive and concluded there must be a God. So he went to school in GI Bill. He ended up at Union Theological Seminary and became a Presbyterian minister. Back at Union Theological, he studied with Reinhold Niebuhr and Paul Tillich and some of the greatest theologians in American history. But that wasn't the key to his success as a minister. The key to his success as a minister, among others, was simply his ability to relate to whoever it was that he was interfacing with. So, for example, while he was very good with people whose faith was as majestic as the QE2, he was equally good, perhaps even better, with people who were going through a period of time when their faith might be more like a sailboat or a rowboat or even an inner tube losing air. And that was the key, I think, to the success of his ministry. He met Mom in June. They started dating in July. He proposed in August, and they were married in September. And despite how quick that courtship was, they were together for 67 years. After he retired, he would often take my sister on a special outing to McDonald's. That was special for my sister. And this particular McDonald's was in a hardscrabble neighborhood. And they would sit there, and frequently some of the homeless people would approach and sit down with them. Dad would just sit there and simply listen, engage, have fellowship, and give these folks a feeling of significance. They were somebody. They were important to him. So that was quite the congregation, and spoke to my father's spirituality. I think his faith and his exuberance for life and his understanding of the scriptures supporting that exuberance, that joy, is what sustained him. One of the lessons that he was most emphatic about, given that faith and given that joyful exuberance based on that faith, was meditating in the monastery is fine, and we all need it at a certain point. But the challenge is to go out into the world. Do what is right. Overcome evil with good. Support the suffering. And rejoice in the power of the Holy Spirit. Rejoice. That's joyful. That's exuberance. That's grounded in faith. He taught us that.